Her Lamborghini sank in the mud right in front of me, headlights flickering, her screams echoing across my fields, and thousands of people watching it live on her stream. That was the moment I knew this feud with the queen of the HOA wasn't just about a car, it was about respect, and about finally making her face the truth she thought money could erase. By the time she clawed her way out of that muck, Karen's empire was already crumbling, and all I had to do was stand there with my arms folded and let the land do the talking. My name's Tom Miller. I'm a farmer, fourth generation on the same patch of dirt out in Chestnut County. To me, this land isn't just soil, it's family history, sweat-broken fences and sunburnt days that built everything I have. To her, Karen Whitmore, president of the Chestnut Grove Homeowners Association, it was nothing but a shortcut, a stage for her to strut on sunglasses, flashing phone in hand, pretending she owned the world. The first time I saw her bright white Lamborghini tear across my fields, I thought it was some lost driver. I waved, pointed at the private property sign nailed to the post. She laughed, revved the engine, and tossed back. Maybe don't put your farm where people need shortcuts. Then she was gone in a cloud of dust. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, maybe a GPS glitch. But the very next day, she came back. This time blasting music wheels, digging ruts in my pasture. By the third visit, she had friends piled into the car, treating my land like a racetrack. By the fourth, she was live streaming, making me the angry farmer meme for her audience. Broken fences, crops, trampled cattle, spooked so bad, one goat limped for a week. And every time I tried to stop her, she just smirked. I called the sheriff, filed reports, left voicemails with photos. Deputies shrugged, trespassing's hard to prove, they said. And Karen, she wasn't just anybody, she was HOA royalty. Money buys influence. Influence buys silence. My word didn't mean much against hers. I remember gripping the railing of my porch one evening so hard the wood cracked under my hands, watching her wave to her followers, laughing like my hard work was just a punchline. That was the moment patience snapped. But here's the thing, I didn't go charging at her with a shotgun like some folks would expect. I sat with the anger, and the longer I sat, the clearer the plan became. She always came around golden hour when the light made the fields glow, when her lipstick and oversized earrings would pop on camera. She thought it was her runway. Well, that runway gave me an idea. There's a low patch near the back pasture, clay soil soft after rain. I'd seen a tractor sink up to its axles there once. Took 2 machines and half a day to pull it out. If she wanted smooth shortcuts, I'd give her smooth too smooth. For a week after chores, I worked quietly. Hauled out the old ATV-rigged sprinklers under straw and dirt, timed to flood the ground just enough. Covered it all with fresh topsoil, rolled a hay bale onto it one night, watched it sink slow and steady. Perfect. My welcome mat. Then I waited. Every engine I heard made my pulse race. 3 days, nothing. On the 4th, the base rolled across the hills, and that engine's growl hit my chest. I leaned against the fence post like I had all the time in the world. She barreled down, phone-high caption, probably shortcut, queen strikes again. She shouted into her stream, "He's out here again, y'all, old farmer can't stop me." She laughed. My thumb pressed the remote. A hiss, then silence. For a heartbeat, nothing. Then the earth gave way. The car dipped, tires spinning, flinging mud, digging deeper. Her laughter snapped off like a light. She screamed, kicked open the door, and stepped straight into the muck. Designer leggings, ruined makeup streaking down her face, still lived to thousands of strangers. I didn't move, didn't speak, just folded my arms and let the barn camera roll. It wasn't revenge, it was consequence. And it felt like peace. Word spread fast. In a small town, you can't even sneeze without it hitting the diner by supper. Her live stream clips went viral. Teenagers outside the hardware store asked me if it was true I'd buried a Lamborghini. I just shrugged. Sometimes the dirt bites back. By that evening, the news had picked it up. Anchors were grinning through their lines. Karen's humiliation was everywhere. But she didn't slink away. No, she doubled down. A week later, a courier brought me a letter, Karen suing me for property damage, emotional distress, defamation. If I hadn't been so mad, I would have laughed. Instead, I called Vic Reynolds, an old buddy from high school, now a lawyer. He read the complaint, laughed so hard he nearly choked, and said, "She trespassed, destroyed your land, and broadcasted it herself. If anything, you should be suing her." And that's exactly what we did. Countersuit for trespassing, property damage, harassment. We had every frame of evidence we needed. Karen's case fizzled like wet firecrackers. The public backlash was brutal. Her lawyer probably begged her to drop it before it detonated in their faces. For a minute I thought maybe it was over. But people like Karen don't stop. They escalate. One morning I found surveyors hammering stakes at my fence line, a glossy sign propped against their truck, "Future site of Community Access Road. Chestnut Grove, HOA Karen's domain." I marched down, demanded answers. They waved some paper stamped in blue ink, looked official, until I pushed it at the county office and found out it was nothing but a bogus proposal. Karen filed herself. No permit, no approval, just intimidation dressed up in paperwork. And when intimidation didn't scare me, she went back to destruction. Pink spray paint across my barn door. Justice for Karen. I clenched my fists so hard my nails cut my palms. Enough. I set up trail cams, motion sensors, alarms. The very next week they caught her hoodie pulled low, glittery earrings still giving her away, spray can in hand, caught red-handed vandalizing my property. That was the bulletproof proof I needed. When the court date came, I'll admit I was nervous. Walking into that dusty old courthouse with Vic at my side, stomach twisted. Karen sat at the plaintiff's table, cream blazer hair perfectly coiffed, flanked by slick-suited lawyers. She looked like a porcelain doll until she opened her mouth and started sobbing. Told the judge I'd set a death trap, tried to kill her in my swamp. Tears slid down her cheeks, her voice trembling like she was auditioning for a soap opera. For a second I worried it might work. Judges don't always see through theatrics. Then Vic stood up, calm. No theatrics. He pressed play on the footage. There she was, clear as daylight, spray painting my barn, laughing while tearing across my land, screaming, "He can't stop me." The courtroom went silent. You could hear the hiss of the spray can on the speakers. The judge leaned forward, eyebrows raised. Vic just said, "This isn't a case about a farmer tormenting a woman. It's about a woman who thought she was untouchable until the evidence caught up with her." Karen's face drained of color. Her lawyers whispered frantically. The judge didn't waste words. "I've seen enough. This court will not tolerate harassment, destruction of property, or frivolous lawsuits. Miss Whitmore, consider this your warning. Further complaints may lead to criminal charges." Bang! Gavel down. Just like that it was over. She stormed out, heels clacking like gunfire down the hall. I sat still, breathing out weeks of tension. Relief, not triumph. Because I knew storms leave debris. And sure enough, she tried to reinvent herself online, playing victim crocodile tears in her oversized SUV, harassed by a violent farmer. A handful of die-hard followers stuck with her, flooding my farm's page with insults. I ignored them. But in town, I heard whispers. Her husband left, took the kids. Neighbors saw her grocery shopping in plain sneakers and hoodies, hiding behind sunglasses. She looked small, almost unrecognizable. The last time our eyes met, she muttered, "You ruined my life." Her voice cracked barely above a whisper. I just shook my head. "No, you ruined your own life. The land just reminded you." That's where the fight ended. Not with applause or celebrations, but with silence. Her power drained away. Her arrogance swallowed by the same ground she mocked. And me, I went back to feeding the cattle, mending fences, watching the sun dip over quiet fields that finally felt like mine again. Because in the end, dignity matters more than pride, and the land always remembers.